Hello, my beautiful friend, and welcome back to another video. So, payment processors are crashing out, and it's so incredibly funny. Today is going to be a little bit different. You already saw it in the title of the video. But I'm just going to react to Hero Hey because I really like him. And most of the time, we're on the same level of opinion. And so let's get started with this one because he basically already covers all the topics that I also wanted to talk about. But I have a small disagreement with him, but we will get there.
We've got a hilarious update on the payment processor situation. Quick context to this.
So good.
Early on,
So good.
when Collective Shout went after payment processors to try and get them to go after Steam, and Steam ended up changing their policies over all this stuff, removing certain adult games. You know the story. Well, people were coming up with ideas to fight back against the payment processors, and one of the ideas that was being shared early on was, for example, as you can see here on our Steam, 5 days ago, how to directly pressure payment processors. If you have a Visa card, go here. Tell Visa.
So, okay, 2 days ago or something like this, I shared 2 links. I will also share those in the description box as well, like Hero Hay's video, of course. But those are the ethical sides of Visa and MasterCard. If you do not have a Visa or a MasterCard, you can just go there and write them.
You're ticked.
It's
we
also
need to
anonymous.
directly pressure them. Be nice. Don't be rude. Remember, customer
don't
service
be a
that you're
dick.
talking to didn't
Very
make a
important.
decision, but we need to stand up against censorship. And so some people are sharing their testimonials, if you will, their stories about what happened when they contacted these payment processors, and it seems like this is actually, on some level,
69.
working. So this is a good update, and also a hilarious one. So I mentioned there were some testimonials, or however you want to put it. Let me show you what I'm talking about. This user saying, Visa card representative yelled at me. I called this number and simply asked about the content guideline. We've been getting thousands of calls. You talked to someone? Who did you call? Other people accepted what I said, so why don't you? And then saying at Visa is cooked. And then we also got this one saying, did what I could today. Did some work. Called Visa. The man was understanding, put me on hold for 25 minutes.
25 minutes is wild.
It was a new person who was very tired. I then repeated the whole story, and I could hear the sigh of energy draining when they knew what it was leading to.
I can just imagine with this one. Yeah, please hold. I will get you the manager. And the poor person on the other line, who's just the technician, it's just like, hey, we have another one of those. And the representative who has to talk to everyone is just like, yeah, put it in the line. I have 60 more of those. This is just what I can imagine, and it's so good. But I also want to say something else about this one.
This one's crazy. It says, I wish this was a joke, but I got called a predator today by a Visa rep. Think I just happened to be called that. Wait, think I just happened to be a call that pushed the woman over. Excuse me. Lodged 2 formal complaints after that and spun circles on the 2 calls and was about 25 minutes. Why would you get called a predator, though? What the frick, dude?
I mean,
we've also got this one.
It's very simple because some people, I don't say everyone, of course they are going to have the same, I wanted to say values, but it's not values, value pushing thingy. I want to say something, but I'm a little bit scared that I will get reprimanded from YouTube because of that. But they just want to push values, and I'm really against this. Of course, you are going to get someone who also wants to push the same values.
One says, had a similar issue on the phone yesterday with Visa, in which they were hyper aggressive. And the woman even tried suggesting that I must have been buying illegal content. What? Before launching into her, I'm going to disconnect the call now script. Wait. So, is the implication here that they're being called like predators and buying illegal content because they're fighting back against these restrictions? That seems like the sort of thing like Collective Shout would say. Like I wouldn't expect this from people who are just like Visa hotline people And I kind of feel bad for them on one hand because like they're just, the employees who are not responsible for these policy decisions.
Yeah, and again, they are getting a lot of calls, which still is good. I'm feeling for the technicians here. I'm feeling for the people that have to answer these calls. But keep on going. Keep going if you have a Visa or a MasterCard.
Decisions and whatnot, but like they shouldn't be accusing people of being predators and saying they're buying illegal content and everything. My point is that seems like the sort of thing you would expect collective
Just
shouts
write
to
the
say, right?
story
Like,
on
"Oh,
Reddit or
you're
Twitter
upset
or
with us
whatever
going
and
after
have a
these
laugh
games.
about
You
it
must be a
because
predator,
it's very
or
funny.
you must be buying illegal content or something. Some nonsensical point like that. But apparently these people are saying that even some of these Visa hotline people are saying stuff like this to them. Maybe I'm misunderstanding this. I'm just trying to make sense of
Oh no,
some
it's
of these
totally what
responses
you
that people are apparently
understand,
getting.
Hero Hey.
And as written here, the folks applying pressure know that someone at a call center has limited power in a scenario like this. Typically, agents are equipped to handle standard customer issues like payment fraud or credit card
Yep,
loss.
because
But
that's
the
what
point
they're there
is
for.
not to enact change through a specific phone call. It's to cause enough disruption that the ruckus theoretically starts costing
Exactly.
payment processors money. That's
Exactly. This is the thing we have to do, because right now the only things we can do is disrupt them, hit them where it hurts, their wallets, and if possible, find someone, if it's your mayor or someone else in the political hierarchy, find them, write them. The EU, one of the EU vice presidents, the one who talked about stop killing games, write him. Because with him, we know that he's on our side.
takes us back over to Japanese politician Zenko Kurishita, as what's written here shows you how Collective Shout went about this and why this strategy that gamers are now using to go after payment processors is essentially fighting fire with fire. So he says, the Australian organization Collective Shout has been pushing for content restrictions on Steam and itch.io, according to records published on their website. They sent 1,067 emails to payment processors like Visa and MasterCard starting in May.
1067 emails. I could have done that alone with 1067 different email addresses. It's laughable.
If such a number of emails led to regulations that caused around 20,000 adult games to disappear, with reports also indicating that these games were removed from the libraries of users who had previously purchased them,
Whoa, what?
it can only be described as a
I
serious
didn't know
threat
that
to
one.
creators and users. Even though there might have been many times more people who felt those works were fine or liked them, what about the effort put in by these creators? They are unilaterally decided without consideration. This asymmetry, along with the lack of transparency and information disclosure, is also a significant issue.
Dude, this one here. With reports also indicating that these games were removed from the libraries of users who had previously purchased them. This is wild. This is... I want to say things, but I'm not allowed to. Let's keep going.
And he cites Collective Shout's, presumably their own website here, where they outline some of their strategy as we just went over.
The strategy.
And as mentioned,
talking
point
to
this
upper
is,
management like a Karen.
well, if Collective Shout sent around 1,000 emails for that period of a few months or whatever it was, I mean, the internet can do a lot more than that. Internet can do a lot more than that.
Probably had
man.
over
So it's kind of
10,000
hilarious
in
seeing
an
these payment
hour.
processors bending the knee to
Probably.
Collective Shout. And now it's like, oh, really? Okay, 1K emails and however many phone calls that these Australian feminists may have sent. Well, good luck now with the internet coming after you. Now, as I said before, I think it's completely reasonable speculation that the executives at these payment processors actually have no issue with Collective Shout trying to get them to do this stuff. What I mean more specifically is they want to try and abuse their power and see what they can get away with. So I don't think like the whole Collective Shout thing worked simply because they annoy these payment processors. No, I think these payment processors also saw this as an opportunity to test how much power and control they have, right?
So I don't know if he's going to talk about this, but Collective Shout, they talked to Steam and itch.io first, and then went to Visa and MasterCard, which is the ultimate Karen move of complaining to the waiter, doesn't do anything. Let's go to the manager. But also, like 2 days ago, or whenever I made the video, I think it was 2 days ago, I showed you the books of Melinda Tankard Rice, the co-founder of Collective Shout. I had a bellyache the day after because I laughed so much and so hard. Holy shit, it was so good. Oh, haven't laughed so. I don't know, man. It's been years since I laughed that hard.
So simply annoying them back doesn't mean that they may start operating in a different way when those executives literally want to try to control the internet. But the point still stands that using the strategy of fighting fire with fire and clogging up their logistics can still harm the company. Here's a testimonial on Steam 4 days ago. This is about an email, so a bit different from the ones we read earlier regarding phone call responses.
Oh yeah, and what I meant with, I don't know if he's going to talk about, I watched the video already. It's pre-watched, yes, I know. That's why I know that I disagree with him on one point, but I forgot if he's talking about the Karen move from Steam to Visa and MasterCard.
Says, so I got a response from Visa. Reads, hello, redacted. Thank you for reaching out and sharing your perspective. As a global company, we follow the laws and regulations everywhere we do business. While we explicitly prohibit illegal activity on our network, we are equally committed to protecting legal commerce. If a transaction is legal, our policy is to process the transaction. We do not make moral judgments on legal purchases made by consumers. You do. Yeah, right. Oh my gosh.
I just love how his rig is capturing his face, and while he's reading this, it's just he knows how happy he looks because it's just bullshit that's written here.
The OP goes on and like calls that out too. We'll get to that though. Visa does not moderate content sold by merchants, nor do we have to. What? They really saying that? Visa does not moderate content sold by merchants, nor do we have visibility into the specific goods or services sold when we process a transaction. When a legally operating merchant faces an elevated risk of legal activity, we require enhanced safeguards for the banks.
Enhanced safeguards.
For more information on Visa's policies, please visit our network integrity page on visa.com. Hyperlinked. Thank you for writing.
Visa
Webmaster. And as mentioned, the OP calls this out. I guess I will just remove myself for a second. It reads, so basically their response was the biggest gaslighting I've ever seen. Talk about trying to block the sun with one finger.
That's never such a good phrase.
They completely deny moderating content even when there's an overabundance of evidence. Anyways, we should keep on pressing the issue. I'll share the template I used on the first comment and the Visa website so you can give them your regards. Just remember to be polite but firm.
Yes, first of all, this is not the point I wanted to make against Hirohei. The template is fine. Just do it like homework. Change it a little bit. Otherwise, it will be flagged as spam. Really, really important here.
Also, the template has been modified by me to not have invalid characters and have enough characters to send without issue, but is based on a template another user shared. Now, hypothetically, guys, I'm just throwing this out there. I'm not saying it's a good idea, but like, if the single goal is to just like clog up their logistics and make things more complicated for the company and all that, that means you could even call them and just like make up some completely like insane story about like.
Yep, this is the point where I'm absolutely not on the same level as he, because don't make shit up. Don't. This is something that can come back and bite your ass. I don't know how much, but it might. So don't do this. He also talks it back a little bit later, but if you call, just tell them the truth. Basically, it's the easiest way.
Fraud case that happened or something. Like, you don't even need to actually mention that it's about all this stuff, referring to, you know, like the payment process or censorship and whatnot. You could be like, yeah, dude, my freaking dog was like chewing up my credit card, and then I was trying to take it from his mouth, and like my hand slipped after I like pulled it out. That sounded kind of weird, but But the credit card like went flying, and some freaking like homeless person picked it up and ran off, and I couldn't catch him. And now I think I'm like worried that there's a bunch of fake, purchases. And then they're like, okay, what's your information so we can help you? It's like, dude, I don't remember. It's on the card. Like, I don't have the card anymore. Like, you got to help me, though. You can just, like, make up the craziest stuff.
What I remember right now is a couple of years ago when I wanted to change my phone number. And because my old contract, my father did one for the whole family because it was cheaper for everyone. And I was like, yeah, but I now want a new contract because more data and so on. So I did everything, called and said, yeah, I want to keep my old number, the one that I have right now. Oh no, service provider, that's what I wanted to change. I wanted to keep my number. And they said, yeah, just tell us the name of the person who has the contract right now and the birthday and so on. I gave them everything. They said there is no one under this name. So dude, I'm calling with the name, with the contract that you have right now. Just look at the number. I just want to keep the number, just change the name of the person because it's still the same building that we live in. And yeah, just do this. Yeah, but there is no one here. How is there no one there? And weeks have gone by. I sent them so many requests for a new contract and gave them my father's things, which they already had. And they always said there is no one under this name and with this birthday and so on. And I was so mad. I went to another service provider, just made a contract without anything else. And then a couple of months later, I figured out that I put in the wrong year of my father's birthday. It was the right day and month. It was just the wrong year. I was so mad. But it was like, yeah, there is no one under this name. So, yes, it is. At least tell me that I have something wrong and not that there is no one there. Because I'm the son. I mean, yes, everyone can say this, but it was my fault completely, but so funny right now.
Yeah, I'm not suggesting anyone actually do that. I'm just saying, though. And so back on the Reddit thread, someone basically said, like, yeah, man, all you got was a generic response, but I appreciate the effort. And the OP responds to that saying, honestly, I expected nothing, or a generic non-response email about how much they appreciate the feedback and do their best to work it out or something along those lines. What I didn't expect was such a blatant gaslighting attempt / straight up lie. Anyway, nothing new under the sun. I just thought the community might get a kick out of it. And I'll leave it there.
Share your
stories.
Some of
this stuff was pretty amusing, and I hope you guys got a laugh out of it. Despite some bad news lately, there is some wholesomeness with people fighting back together, fighting back against these corrupt companies and these corpos. So yeah. Once again, thank you for tuning in. Appreciate you. Consider liking and subscribing if you enjoyed my coverage.
Already done.
In the comments here. And
already subscribed. Then, yep, that was basically it. Thank you so much for being here with me. Again, go and like his video. Subscribe also to him. I really, really like him. And yeah. Please leave your thoughts and questions in the comment section down below. I'm keen to know what you have to say. And while you're here, please remember to do all the things that make the dings, or we may never see each other again. And yeah, like and subscribe. Have a great day. Stay fantastic. Stay hydrated. And I will see you in the next video. Bye, bye, bye.